Hello and welcome back to another game of StarCraft 2. This is Nerchio versus SoO, and we have got game number 3. So as you can see, scores are 1 apiece. We are currently doing the final match. This is the round of 16 for the WCS Championship from 2017. So we're still on the old patch, and I hope that you will stick around until we move on to the next ones. So on the top left hand side here, we've got ourselves Nerchio. He is currently on Team EURONICS Gaming. Artur Bloch is his name. Age 25, and he is from Poland. His opponent, SoO, SoO. He is not currently on a team. His name is Yoon Su. He's 25 years old, and he is from South Korea. So let's see how this game plays out. We've got ourselves pretty standard openings from both players, except for SoO seems to be going for his favorite, where he starts with a spawning pool before the hatchery. The question is he going to throw down another hatchery or not? Or rather, is he going to throw down his hatchery or not? Because looking at his previous, or his first game, he actually rushed straight in with just one base, but second game he did exact same as he's doing now, where he built 2 bases. Now, what he's done basically is he's secured himself some additional units which are very, very crucial for basically survival against a rushing opponent. So in the first game he rushed himself 11 drones, and he had a spawning pool and metabolic boost done, rushing straight to his opponent's base, reinforcing armies, not building any economy. He did lose that game because of Nerchio's amazing defensive skills. And in the second game, he started exactly the way he is right now, starting with a spawning pool first, except for he did not take the metabolic boost at the time. So this is a little bit different this time around. And he went straight for the hatchery after going for that spawning pool. So a little bit interesting. It's a different way of starting, but very, very similar to the previous build. We're going to see exactly how this progresses in terms of aggression, because he's not building anywhere near as many Zerglings as he did in the previous 2 games. Even in the second game, where he didn't go for any sort of cheese, he started off with, I think it was 8 Zerglings, followed by another 4 before he started building up his economy. Now, he made Nerchio panic at that point, and Nerchio started to build a lot of defensive units. Unfortunately, by the time he had the defensive units built, to correct myself, Nerchio had a hatchery built first, and by the time he managed to scramble up some defensive units, at that point it was destroyed, so he could not hold on to that hatchery. Now, at that point the game turned around, and here we are at 1-1. So a few extra Zerglings coming out. These are definitely later Zerglings. He does even have a few extra drones on the natural expansion. A small bit of a skirmish in the middle, just a few Zerglings being dropped from each side. Now Nerchio is going for a more aggressive build here. He's got himself the Baneling, he's got himself a bunch of Zerglings on the way. Metabolic boost is going to complete. SoO's one, of course, has already completed, and oh no, this hatchery could potentially get sniped if he's not careful. Looking at our army supply, it does look like Nerchio is a small bit behind, but does he have the forces to hold off a defensive or aggressive move from SoO at the same time while defending a hatchery? So it does not look like it. Hatchery gets cancelled. He's trying to bait out those banelings to see if he can pop them, and he does manage to get one at the cost of 2 Zerglings. So far, it looks to me like, let me actually confirm this, it does look like SoO has traded favorably here, with units killed of 19 versus 7. He is chasing those Zerglings just to make sure that they're not going to be up to anything bad. The counterattack going down here. Now this is 6 Zerglings. They could tear down this hatchery quite quickly. There is 3 Banelings and 5 Zerglings on the way here. It does look like, oh, this is so close. It is so close to dying, and it's a bit risky to even leave it like this, because you could complete the hatchery and then it gets sniped so easy, and that's a whole waste of 300 minerals. Queen warding off the Overlord. Of course, this is a safe place for Overlords, but not when your opponent has Overlords too, because at that point you get spotted. Oh no, another hatchery is about to get cancelled out here. Looks like it is building at roughly the same speed, slightly faster than 2 Zerglings. attacking it. But is it going to get reinforced? There's a lot of Zerglings coming here. This hatchery has absolutely no hope of survival. The queens are coming down, but this is so bad. The queens are going to get surrounded by all of these Zerglings, and this could spell disaster for Nerchio. He tried to take that expansion twice, and now losing both expansions as well as 2 queens. This is a terrible moment for Nerchio. He's now half of the army supply of SoO, and it's not looking good right now. SoO has successfully established this base. It's very low on health, so could still be sniped. But it is looking pretty good in terms of army supply at the moment. Now worker count is actually favoring SoO because Nerchio is oversaturated slightly. Here he's in 16, so essentially he's mining with 32 workers, whereas SoO can actually mine with 48. Not doing it quite yet, but he will be shortly if he starts building economy. It looks like he's actually gone for the same type of build, building more roaches, so scrap that. He's not going for more drones. He's going straight for roaches, and the Zerglings moving straight into the mineral line, starting to attack here. I'm not sure if he's on hold move or not, but he is doing some economic damage. 3 drones taken out. Not a whole lot for the amount of Zerglings that have been lost here, but every bit adds up right now, and Nerchio has actually secured a slight advantage in the worker department. So the big problem that he has right now, though, is the fact that he is so vulnerable to opening up a bit of harassment on him. Roaches are coming out, so all Nerchio has to do now is hold on for dear life. He's got himself a bunch of roaches on the way. All of these drones are vulnerable because of those Zerglings, managing to take out a few, just 2. Is he going to get any more before those Zerglings are cleaned up? 4 taken out. And that has been cleaned up. So now we've got ourselves a roach versus roach army. Sometimes we don't even get as far as this in the tech. Considering roaches are tier 1, it's kind of interesting that games don't really get that far quite often. Now it does look like we've got a few corrosive biles in the background. Are they going to pick off anything? Only 1 for Nerchio, 2 for SoO. Army supply is heavily favoring SoO. Of course, a lot of that is still on the way. It does look like Nerchio is getting a little bit aggressive, but I don't know if he is capable of doing that because SoO's army is so big right now. 30 for 70. Managing to snipe off that evolution chamber before it gives him the upgrades for the ranged weapons. So at this point, neither players have any upgrades. And Nerchio is getting dangerously aggressive here. I'm not quite sure if this is the smartest of moves. I think he should probably recover a little bit, but at the same time, if he knows about this expansion, which he does, sure, he did a bit of harassment on it, so of course he knows about it, then he knows that he's falling behind on economy right now. Now the economy difference is not a whole lot, so micro can still make a big difference, but no. Looks like he has called GG, leaving SoO to take game number 3 here. And that was... SoO has this game figured out really well, I think. That he knows that he can build up his economy quite nicely if he does the right type of damage to the right place, even if he has a smaller army to begin with. So the 2 hatchery snipes here made a huge difference because he destroyed 2 hatcheries. I mean, what more can you say? That's production and income, which Nerchio could not secure. And on top of that, getting 2 queens caught out. Very good mind games from SoO by basically making it look like there are just 2 Zerglings, but then reinforcing them with about 15 more and taking out those queens. Very well played. So that's pretty much it. I hope you have enjoyed this game. That was game number 3. We're going to be moving on to the next series, probably from the next group stage, and I'll see you guys there. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time.